Any grand endeavor begins well before you set foot out the door. In my understanding of it, it happens more like a teeter-totter, or it has felt more like a teeter-totter, where I began far at one end with planning or just with this idea, and so my first effort was to find anyone who had done anything resembling this. The first person that I found was George Megan, whose book, The Longest Walk, I ordered on Amazon, and I had to sit there waiting and thinking about it and wondering what kind of person does this kind of thing. As I read his book, I began researching other people. He did it in the 70s and 80s, so knowing that a lot had changed in terms of political balance of power, I began looking for more recent examples, and I found Greg and Deya, who did a hike called Across the Andes from Quito, Ecuador, down to Tierra del Fuego. I later found Joey Shanka, who has recently completed connecting a consecutive set of footprints across South America, Carl Bushby, and all of these different stories. I began putting them together and reading through, noting the towns that they went through, the balances there. From there, I began to take that information and to plot it all out onto a map. One of the biggest resources that we have today that people even 5 years ago did not have is a program called Google Earth Pro. It offers satellite images of almost every square inch of the Earth, and on several of them offers a historical view, so you can go back over the last, generally up to maybe about 10 years, there's still decent images, and see what's been going on in those areas, what an area looks like in drought time, what it looks like in springtime, and putting all of those pieces together. So getting some of the more modern or the more recent routes, such as Joey's and Greg and Deya's in KML format, and plotting them onto this massive file that I have of all of the routes across South America. In the planning stage, your first point is you want to get as many options down as possible. And then with time and experience, you begin to put the pieces together and hone in on what we want our trail to be. Looking for key points that we want to be able to see and to observe and to work with. Has been a matter of that we drew plans out for, but we also stop every 3 months along the way, and considering current conditions are able to lay out a more detailed plan for how to not die.
Which is our goal in the long run.
Yep.